Hey Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading. If this is your first time here, my name is Laura and I'm from babycurltarot.com. Keep in mind that this reading is for any Aquarius placement you want to check in on, including but not limited to your sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Maybe you want to check in on the astrological house that Aquarius is in your natal chart. Whatever it is, you're welcome here, as are the cross watchers. All right, so let's get into this reading. Also, Aquariuses, keep in mind, if you do happen to catch this reading after the first week of August 2022, that's okay. It just means you were meant to hear the message at a later time. All right, spiritual team, what is the overall energy for the next 7 days for the Aquariuses? What is the overall energy for the next 7 days for the Aquariuses? All right. Come here. Sneaky one. Doesn't want to come up. Okay, let's take a look. We have time with courage. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have the pink rose. Gratitude. Huh. I like this. I like this. It's a really interesting combination of softness and grit. Okay, so we have the rose. Yes, roses have thorns, but roses are typically associated with very soft, loving, gentle energies. Then you have time, which is all about boldness, fire, passion, motivation, courage. You have a knife here. You have very gentle, beautiful, more softer energies here on this card. It's a very interesting combination. Oh, I like this. I like this combination. It's like being grateful for where you've been in the past, being grateful for what you have coming to you in the future, and finding that strength within you through that gratitude to go after what it is you want with all the confidence in the world. I love that. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what it is you guys need to know. Spiritual team, what messages do you have for my Aquariuses for the next 7 days? What messages do you have for my Aquariuses for the next 7 days? What messages do you have for my Aquariuses for the next 7 days? Excuse me. All right, we have Page of Cups reversed, the Ace of Wands, Four of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed with the Four of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Interesting so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's at the bottom of the deck and see what's going on. So we have the Four of Cups reversed, Six of Pentacles, come here, the Seven of Swords, and the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay. Very interesting. Excuse me. It's a very interesting combo. Okay, Aquariuses, this is a really interesting one. So bear with me while I try to kind of get through it. I feel like for a lot of you, you guys are starting to take more chances. Especially with the Four of Cups in reverse here. Typically when it's in the upright, it talks about being selective, almost to the point of being either not indecisive, but I guess uninterested or disinterested. But within the reverse, this tells me that you're understanding that now is the time where you don't have that option to be so picky or judgmental about the choices or options or opportunities that come towards you. Okay. I also feel like for a lot of you, you are learning that people who come to you with a little bit of like their guard up, they do it because they too have also been burned by people in the past, right? So whether this is in business, love, whatever, you are starting to see that people wear these masks because they're protecting themselves from the lions in the world that would happily eat them if they didn't have that guard up, if they didn't have that strategy up their sleeve. So I think a lot of you may have cut off communication, or, you know, just been really resistant to doing business or working with people or getting to know people who have that kind of guard or mask up. But now you're starting to understand and see that, well, I guess you kind of respect it in a way. That's the best way I can put it, is you're starting to understand it, you're starting to respect it. And you're also starting to understand that in order to get the trust and the opportunities that you want, you have to give these people something to trust and work with as well. It is an equal balance of give and take that needs to be given here with the Six of Pentacles. So for a lot of you, yeah, it's kind of scary, but you're now understanding that you too have had to put a mask on or put in some strategy into effect in order to protect yourself. So now you can completely appreciate other people who do the same things. You may have kind of, I don't know, turned off your phone, stopped taking interviews, stopped taking phone calls from certain places or types of people that are offering you things. And now you're kind of at the point where you are finally feeling comfortable enough to put yourself back out there and start looking again. Okay, so whether this is, again, job, health, love, whatever, apply the message to however it resonates for you. Now let's go ahead and get into these cards right here. All right, Aquarius, so what I'm seeing is, again, more opening up from you guys in particular this week, especially with the Four of Pentacles here in the reverse. This is you starting to let down those walls, let down that guard, that protectiveness, and really start to take action in terms of moving forward in some sort of venture, goal, whatever the case may be for you guys individually. Where the gratitude comes in is the gratitude for the lessons that you have learned along the way, particularly with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed. This talks to me about either people that have come into your life that have come in hot and heavy with no stability behind them, talked a good game but didn't have anything to back it up, or didn't do anything to back it up. And same with people that may have come in that like played on your emotional heartstrings, or maybe they were too immature, they weren't ready for what it is that you needed in terms of getting what it is that you wanted out of this life. For some of you, this is how you guys have acted in the past. Maybe you went into situations, guns blazing, not knowing exactly what you were getting yourselves into, what you were doing. Maybe you were, I don't know, maybe some of you were really argumentative when you would go into certain places with certain types of people because you thought that's how you needed to be in order to command respect. Maybe you went into situations being a little naive and uncertain and over romanticizing the situation and what it could potentially hold for you, and you didn't quite ground yourself in the reality. All lessons from the past that have now put you in a place where you are now. Okay, now you're a little bit smarter, wiser, you're a little bit more tactful. You think a little bit more before you speak or act. Spirit is saying that those lessons came into your life for a reason, whether again they came from you yourself or they came from other people, but these are all things that have been building you up to the point you are at now, so you could go after the opportunities you want to now. And it's very interesting that it reflects both ways, under the deck and at the top of the deck here, especially with the 2-4 cards being reversed. These are very protective energies or self-preservation type of energies in terms of cards. So to see them both in the reverse tells me that you are kind of putting down that extremely protective barrier. Yes, you're going in this a little bit wiser, a little bit more with a strategy, but you're not closed off completely. You're not guarded. You're not, you know, shutting people out the way that you used to, maybe because of how hard these lessons hit you in the past. So you're now going into this a little bit more open, but also very much more cautious and prepared. I'll just put it that way. All right, Aquarius, that is what I'm seeing with the tarot. Let's go ahead and get into the Oracle deck section of the reading and see what messages we can get for you guys. Now keep in mind, the messages that come from this deck could be related to what we've been talking about. They could be completely unrelated, just additional things you need to know for the next 7 days. All right, spiritual team, what additional messages do you have for my Aquariuses for the next 7 days? Excuse me. Spiritual team, what additional messages do you have for my Aquariuses for the next 7 days? What is going on with my throat? Excuse me. All right. There we go. All right. Between my throat and these cards not coming out, I don't know what's going on here. All right. So the first card we got was the Torch. Spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. That's what I was picking up on. It's the spiritual awareness of the lessons that you've received over your lifetime or even recently, and how you can apply that to your future, and how you can take those lessons and turn them into something that is helpful to you, not harmful or holding you back, I guess. All right, we also have the Bat. Take care. Enemies are working against you. Okay, so yeah, and that's why we have strategy going into certain places or situations with certain people, right? We've learned that lesson. We know how to protect ourselves to a degree, but also not hold ourselves back so much that we are keeping ourselves from opportunities that are good for us in the long run. We also have the Funnel, period of frustration and lessons to be learned. Okay. Some of you may still be learning some of these lessons, and that's okay. But again, it's all a learning process, so don't get frustrated with yourselves. Definitely take your time with it. You're meant to learn the lesson at whatever speed you are meant to. We all learn lessons differently. Some of us learn faster, some of us take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Just know, I feel like you're starting to kind of get a hang of like the strategy that you go into things with. You're kind of fine-tuning it, tweaking it, and that's where some of this guard or protection-ish type energy from you guys is coming down, as you're starting to understand, like, I don't need to be so protective of myself here. I don't need to be, you know, so uptight about this and that and so on and so forth. You're kind of learning, you know, where things can be tweaked with who, and, you know, I think trusting your intuition is going to be one of the things that's going to really help you with that, is learning to see, like, okay, this is someone I don't get a good vibe from, or they remind me of this type of person from the past. I'm going to keep an eye on them a little bit longer before I fully open up. That kind of a thing, right? We also have the Weeping Willow, family sorrow. Okay, interesting. Didn't quite pick up on that message, but maybe that's just an additional message out there for somebody. Let's take a look at what's at the bottom of these piles. On this one, we have the Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Yeah, definitely on the spiritual growth. But for a lot of you, this is also, I think, affecting your material world, including possibly your finances or your career growth, right? So now you're figuring out, you know, how to conduct yourself in these spaces around certain types of people. And you're finally getting the hang of it, and you feel like, excuse me, you've come to a place of growth where you can put yourself out there and not completely feel like, you know, you're not being yourself, but to the point enough where you are protecting your inner sanctum from the people who would use that against you, right? Let's take a look at the bottom half of this deck. We have the Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. So you could be a woman, you could be dealing with a woman, maybe you know a woman who is going through this exact thing. Take what resonates though, Aquariuses. That is what I'm seeing for you guys for this week. Please leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. If you want to see more content from me, I am on Instagram, TikTok. I also have a blog. All that info is below on where to find me, as is my website, if you want to schedule a personal reading with me. As always though, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.